Hello, job loss. Who do you know that might be going through a job loss? Maybe you, maybe somebody you know. But it doesn't matter who is going through that. It is a stressful time. Regardless what we do, it is somehow stressful time. What we can do, so many things. I will discuss with my beautiful friends here. I will start with Tricia, welcoming Tricia. Hi Tricia.
Hello everybody.
How are you?
Hello everybody. I'm very well, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Elise, hello.
Hi. Hi everyone.
Thanks for having us, Elise.
You're welcome.
Absolutely. And I have Dr. Farah. Hi, Doctor.
Hi, Abby. Hi,
How are
everyone.
you?
Hello.
I'm good, alhamdulillah. How are
Enjoying your
you?
tea?
Hibiscus tea, yes.
Hibiscus tea, absolutely. Again, we are having hibiscus tea. Now, job loss. It is absolutely going around, and if we're not experiencing it, that doesn't mean it's not happening with somebody else. Somebody might be dear to our heart, or somebody in the family. It's not the end of the world, absolutely not. Now, I will ask, who wants to answer this question? What should we do during job loss? For us or for someone else? Who do you want to answer?
I did lose my job in the pandemic, actually.
That's a nice start, Elise, yes?
Yeah. So for me, it was actually, I know it's not for everyone, but it was a happy time for me because I actually had time for myself.
Did you say a happy time?
Yeah.
See, it's not the end of the world, I told you. So why it is a happy time?
So for so long I had been, working, and eventually I had all the time in the world for myself. And I could sleep regular hours, I could eat what I wanted, I could cook. I love to cook, so I was cooking what I wanted. And everything, I was able to meditate and do, in fact I started crafting during that time. Yeah, I enjoyed.
So more me time then?
More me time.
You lose your job.
Me time.
All me time.
Yeah, it was stressful because obviously I no longer had a job, but it was good in that sense that I was able to focus on me.
Wow, more me time. So stopping your bank account from loading up with money, it doesn't mean that you are absolutely going to die or you're going to face a wall. No. By finding your time and by finding enough time to do all these activities, you were busy, weren't you?
Yeah, I focused a lot on my health actually because I wanted to become healthier. I love to be outdoors, but with my job I wasn't able to spend much time, or actually I didn't have any energy to spend time outside.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so
you seized the moment basically, you took advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah.
And that's brilliant. And for me, I think if we look at, this takes me to a completely different point, which we could probably talk about another time, but financial well-being is so important to have that when you are actually working, you have to have that saved up, that amount, a backup plan, at least 6 months, right? So that when these things do happen, you don't feel the brunt and you could actually experience some source of happiness. I lost my job as well at one point. I was working in a clinic and we really good for like 2 years. We had excellent bosses, and personally, as a doctor, I don't like the clinics because, I prefer wellness and I feel suffocated in a clinic environment.
Yeah.
But I was doing really well at this clinic, and we had a really nice spirit about a teamwork because it was such a nice team. The nurses, management, doctors, everybody worked well as a
heaven,
team.
Doctor.
It was that was my first job here in Dubai, actually. It was a really, really,
was it
really
during
good.
pandemic? Or?
No, this was back in 2013,
Wow.
Yeah, but management changed after 2 years, and the new boss that came in wasn't,
It's always about the new guy coming.
Came and shook things up, right?
Oh.
And I responded via email to one of the suggestions, and that was...
Things took
It wasn't
turn.
allowed, you weren't allowed to express, what you thought with this new management. And so I already made it. They called me and they said, you need to come in for a meeting on Monday morning.
you need to come for tea and biscuits. But unfortunately, there's no tea and there's no biscuit. It's only him.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was prepared, although everybody was like, no, they can't get rid of you just for that. You've been working, you've been working so well for the last 2 years. Why would they do that, right? So I was like, you all don't know what's going on, but I can feel it. I know what's happening, So I went in there and had the conversation, not with the new boss, with the two people who knew me for however long, And it was one of those situations that you see in the movie. Well, you can't fire me. I quit. I seriously, I did it. Yeah, wow. I did it. I was like, this is not how it's going to be. I'm like, I'm resigning. This is, and I sat down and I wrote down, I was like, give me a piece of paper and a pencil. I'm ready to do this.
In front of them.
In front of them. Wow. I'm like, yeah.
That's brave.
That's very brave.
That's so brave.
That's very
the thing is that you have to embrace the moment, and take control of it.
True.
Because I really don't believe in being a victim of my circumstance.
Wow.
As much as we are human and we're supposed to help victims, that's not human behavior. We don't ever lean to the side of the weak.
So you chose your future by saying, you know what, I don't want, if you guys are responding in this way, this is not how I work, and I don't want to be in this journey with you.
Exactly.
I'm getting off, which is absolutely brave.
Exactly.
Absolutely
So
brave. Because you are aware and conscious that if I continue with you guys, it should be like the older environment, which was very creative and uplifting.
Exactly.
If it is not, then I don't want to be with you.
Exactly.
As simple as that.
And that's what it was.
But the first shock when you went through, it's not really a shock for your case because you resigned, you gave your paper. But the first emotions went through your head. Was it tough? Or?
Of course it was tough because, it's
although
really
it was your
hard.
choice.
It was my choice, but I went from a state of one, you see, it was the flip of the coin that was the big change, right? I went from a place of being appreciated to a place where I wasn't. And it was a very quick flip of that coin.
Right.
Yeah.
So that obviously, a lot of feelings emerge, right? Negative feelings, the shock.
Yeah.
I can't believe this is how it is. Anger,
and reaction
frustration.
from family as well adds more.
Yeah, in a sense. I mean, alhamdulillah, I have a supportive family,
Thank God,
and my husband is very supportive of me, and he worked at the same clinic, and within 2 hours he sent in his resignation. So they didn't only lose one.
What a story! The whole family resigning to support one of each other.
Yeah,
wow,
so because right is right, right?
Yeah.
Right is right, and it doesn't matter what
you sure you didn't say if you're not resigning?
No.
Did you sign a pact? Let's do this together.
We took a gamble. Because we were. He was actually approached for another job some months back, and he was in the process, but we weren't sure whether it was going to happen or not.
Okay.
But we decided, you know what? As we said, we did not. When we left home, we said one line to ourselves. If we were going to struggle in somebody else's country, we're going back home to our place. We're not struggling outside.
See,
home.
this is bondage.
Yeah.
This is absolutely supporting each other.
Bonding.
Exactly.
Absolutely bonding. So.
Yeah.
What's your story? You said.
Yeah. So I lost my job too. Way back when we came to Dubai, and I mean it was one of the best places that I've ever worked before. And for 2 years it was excellent. The team was excellent, from management till the nurses. Everybody was great.
Wow.
And then management changed, and
it's always about the change.
Yeah.
It's always about the new change for some reason.
Yeah, exactly. So management.
It can be a
changed.
good change, better change. Or...
not in this case.
No.
Yeah,
in
this case was not a good change, and things just didn't work out, and things were going south, and I was called for a meeting, and I knew where I was heading. So I just decided, I'm like, listen, I'm going to resign right now. I'm like, please give me a piece of paper. And
this is brave.
Wow.
This is absolutely brave.
Yeah, so I just decided, I'm like, you don't get to choose my destiny. I get to choose my destiny,
So you chose your future.
Yeah, I chose my future.
So sometimes you have to terminate the job. It's not someone else is calling you to go away. Sometimes you go away.
Exactly, because I knew where the conversation was going. It was change in management. It was time to move out. And I knew it for a few days, right? I knew what the conversation was going to be about. So I told my husband, we had this discussion, and I'm like, if it comes down to it, I'm resigning. And he supported me, right?
Wow.
And so I sent the resignation in, and then I went back to the office, and he was like, well, what happened? So I was like, well, I resigned. And then when I told him the story, he said, he's going to leave as well. And within an hour, he went into the office because we were working in the same building.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. And he handed in his resignation as well.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So,
wow.
So they lost.
Together.
Yeah, they lost 2 good doctors.
Supportive?
Oh my gosh, that's so
a very supportive partner?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, right?
Yeah.
They saw the same thing. And they had an inner agreement. If we struggle, or there is an agony together.
Exactly.
If I'm jumping, you're jumping with me.
Yeah, no, but that's what we said when we came to Dubai. We said, if we were going to struggle here, we are going to go back home and struggle together. That's how it was going to be, right? We wouldn't struggle outside of our country, right? It just didn't make sense to us.
It's difficult.
So
interesting. Wow. But then you found a nice job, and
it took years to recover from that. Actually, I wouldn't lie.
Wow.
Yeah, it took years.
So it's
to
not
recover.
easy, although you are aware.
But I think it was a redirection, because I remember having a conversation with someone before I actually left that I have these plans, I have these dreams, this is what I'm going to start working on. And that's when I started, right? That's when I started working on my business.
So it's not just you, Elise.
Redirection.
Yeah,
You say
exactly.
you found time away from work to do things you love.
Yes.
And you recovered eventually.
Yeah, eventually. It takes time. And it takes time, energy,
Yeah.
But then when
stress,
you and your partner were together, that increased the supporting between you two, right?
Exactly. We
That's
had this
amazing.
support, and that was the best part, is having that support and taking that gamble, because it was a gamble as well. We weren't sure what was going to happen next.
Exactly.
That's
the thing.
gamble.
You never really know what's going to happen.
No.
Yeah.
And it's
Fascinating. Tricia, job loss.
Well, I think job loss is a blessing in disguise. I think, like all relationships, why would you want to be in a relationship where the other person doesn't want you in it? It feels invasive to want to keep doing something that the other isn't happy with, and that could be the management and your role or your contribution. And it's nothing personal; it's business. It's not family.
Yeah.
It is at the end of the day somewhere where we sign a contract to say, I'll do this, this, and this for this.
Right.
And then if they say, well, we don't quite like the way you do this, this, and this, goodbye, then it's like, okay, I'll do it somewhere else.
True.
It's not about me as a person, unless, of course, I've done something criminal in the circumstance, which has led me to being let go and also face those consequences. But otherwise, we don't always get on. We don't always find our comfort zone in our workplace. So if it's not working, then it's a healthy thing to sometimes be told, if we're not happy with the decision-making process ourselves, if we don't want to take that leap of faith and actually say, well, I'm ready to go, if it's a financial concern or whatever, sometimes it's also a good thing to let the company make that decision for us financially, because maybe it's a more supportive way out. However, I don't see job loss as a loss. I think it's a redirection. I think it's a new opportunity.
It can be a blessing as well, as you said.
Yes.
It's not, especially if you're working in a toxic environment, as Doctor said, it's not my values, it's not things I believe in.
Yeah.
I better take that decision before someone else takes it for me.
Exactly.
Yes.
And if you change your timeline, and instead of being with these people, yes, you will go through a job loss, but probably you will find another job that's satisfying all your inner desires somehow. So in order to find what you really desire, sometimes you have to let go some of your income
Exactly.
at the moment.
But it's about having that financial security and that financial well-being as well, right? So and that's a large part of like how I do wellness, right? In terms of when someone comes to me for a health condition or work, because I'm occupational health, so they come for a work problem. We have to look at your finances as part of it and how you are doing and what your financial wellness is like. And it's not about how much money you have in your bank account. It's actually about how you manage to save and how sensible you are with managing your money.
There's a lot to learn out of what we call job loss.
Exactly.
We're really being shown in every area what I could have done better, what I won't let happen again. I remember a few years ago, my husband lost his job very, very, very abruptly, really out of the blue. And it came as such a shock to him. And for me, I thought, okay, I'm working. We're going to, ride this storm, and I'll support him as best I can. It meant that we did not buy as much as what we thought we needed to. We found that we didn't need as much as we thought we needed. And of course, when he did get another position, we were able to then say, right, well, not again will we let ourselves be in a position where we feel so shaky financially. We had a few savings, but it made us realize that really we could be doing a lot more to secure that inner security, inner well-being when something comes along out of the blue. So it's not so much about the job letting us go, it's about us letting us go before the job lets us go. Losing our direction on how to keep ourselves in line with what's right for us.
That's another fascinating story.
That's really
and again, say we didn't know that, and again you were bonding with your husband for better outcomes.
Absolutely.
And you
for better or worse.
Absolutely. Better or worse.
And there's always a way, I think, if you can work together and find a way.
And we have something, we are going to have something for Tricia and Dr. Farah for Jobloss, since we all go through Jobloss.
We've been fired.
Fired in.
So guys,
I'm going to give you something. We're hiding it here.
would you like me to hold you a cup?
That's why we're cups in
It's
the
fine.
got it?
Exactly.
going
So
on?
this is for Dr. Farah. It's here you go. It's for
What is
Dr.
this?
Farah. It's for the episode. It's for Jobloss.
Okay.
Please have it. And this is for our beautiful Tricia, of course. Our beautiful psychologist, Tricia. Here you go.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank
You may open it.
I'm going to hold you a
And the
cup.
audience
Thank you so
want to
much.
see what's in it. Yeah.
Goodness me.
Very curious.
This
Exactly.
is...
Going on.
What do you have inside?
You have
What-
it.
oh my goodness me. Can
Yes.
I open this?
Yes, absolutely. You can show it to the
I have
audience as well.
100 dirham.
Oh, we have money.
Gosh.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah. You can show the audience. What do you have? Maybe you have more.
Goodness me. This is
100
absolutely...
Tricia, would you like, one of you, would you like to read it? Who wants
Dear
to? Okay.
Tricia, thank you so much for all you have done for Aroza Wellbeing. Please put this money towards something you have been dreaming about and starting, or you may know someone who needs it in this case. Please pass it forward. Love, Abby and Elise.
That's it.
I am
That's from the
honoured.
bottom of our heart.
That is absolutely. I'm gobsmacked. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That is really,
Absolutely welcome.
that
You
is
see,
just
and I
lovely.
really do believe, any good you do from your heart, even when you don't have, you just give, and for me, it's God provides, and success is from God at the end of the day. So that's what I believe, and that's something I remind myself of. So it's just really about working and putting in the effort, putting in the time, and putting it from a good place in your heart. And it comes when you least expect it.
Exactly.
It comes.
So
Thank you.
if you
Thank
have
you.
some dream, if you are
Thank you.
collecting money to buy a house, an apartment, a farm, starting a sustainable project, or a degree, or anything, or a car, or something will help you to go forward in life smoothly, please, this is the first 100 kind of dollar, dirham, you could call it whatever.
Thank you.
And if you want to pass it forward, and this is a movement, if we can pass it forward,
Yes,
that would be
yes.
gorgeous. So,
Yeah.
for you too as well, if you can start with even $1 towards your dream, towards your degree, towards your marriage, towards your house, for your child, you can save money. If you want to help somebody that you really know that it might help, even the tiniest, trust me, in England we say every little
Helps.
helps. And this will help. A drop will help. The first thing in a storm, probably a drop of water. So don't demean a little money, don't demean a little effort, and don't demean a little smile. See you soon.